Hi, we are live. Hello and welcome to Product Lessons with Ravi. So you must be imagining when it's product lessons. So what are we doing with the title that you see on the screen, which is three focus areas to get a real edge? So Rajesh, you must have already known about Rajesh through most of my LinkedIn posts and all the social media communication that I have been doing over the years. So the consistent name has always been Rajesh. So Rajesh shared this note with me a few days ago that on face value sounded like full of wisdom, but I was unable to decipher it. So it was titled Three Focus Areas to Get a Real Edge. Now I'm someone who gets greedy and restless when I know there is a nugget of gold there, but I'm unable to catch hold of it or distill it. So I asked Rajesh to help me distill it, and maybe we can learn this through a public conversation. So that's why we are going live with this conversation here. And while I was thinking of this conversation, I thought, why not start a series where we will pick one powerful idea from wise people and get to the depth of it, get to the nuggets, the golden nuggets of these ideas. So that's why I thought of calling this a series as Nuggets of Gold series from now on. So I'm going to catch hold of all wise people around me and have these conversations. I'll create a separate playlist so that you can get all the Nuggets of Gold series. So here we are with Rajesh today, who is going to distill the wisdom for all of us. But before that, why should you care about listening to this man? So, well, Rajesh is a man of stupendous accomplishments, but I will keep the accomplishments short today. He's an ideas man. Silicon Valley calls him the secret spark plug, and his life has been amalgamation of a superhumanly prolific contributions. He has been involved in dozens of companies in combinations as co-founder, board member, and operating executive. He's written over 20 books that have been forwarded by influential people like Seth Godin, Tom Peters, Guy Kawasaki, Tim Draper, and others. His latest book, Smart But Stuck, is coming up soon. We'll do another episode once the book is about to be released. He's also a mentor at Founders Institute, where he has rated as the top 10 mentors ever. He has written over 50 articles on Huffington Post. He has co-founded companies that are valued at $150 million, and he serves as mentor for other companies that have a combined value of $700 million. So, when a man of such accomplishment speaks or shares an idea, you just shut up and pay attention to him. So let's hear from the man today. Rajesh, welcome to Product Lessons. How are you doing today?
Namaskaram, Ravi, and namaskaram to all the people. I'm humbled by the introduction of all the introductions. This was the most recent. That's how my friend says it. So I'm practicing
Yes.
my jokes. Sometimes they don't land well. So let me warn you that. So
No,
first
no,
of all,
no.
thank you so much for the opportunity because first thing when you asked me this question was I was thinking believe in neuro-linguistic programming where the meaning of your communication is in its response. When I said it was not clear, it was a feedback for me in a good way, saying
Right.
that I need to make it more clear. So I took the opportunity because in our conversations it becomes clear, and then I can enhance the three focus areas to get a real edge. So somebody else will not say, at least we both are close enough that you will say, "Hey, I didn't get it," but
Correct.
somebody else may not say it, and then I'm thinking like in a fantasy island, saying that everybody is so clear, that's why they are not saying anything. In fact, they may not be very clear and confused, that's why they're not saying anything. So thank you for that.
Excellent. So Rajesh, you shared this on WhatsApp to me a few weeks
Mm,
ago, and then you fell sick. You contracted COVID.
mm.
I hope you're feeling better now.
Ah,
So thank.
the COVID was a mandatory no citizen left behind program sponsored by the pharma companies. We avoided it for so long, but then we had to sign up for the subscription for 2 weeks. Now we are okay.
Okay, thank you for coming back while you are still recovering. So let's unpack this, Rajesh. So
Mm,
you as I said, on face value it looks very wise, but I need to unpack and learn
ah,
into the depths of it. So let me share the first focus area
mm,
uh, of what it takes to get a real edge. And number one is
mm,
what, and the way it reads it is growing the collective ability of your inner circle to notice and identify tomorrow's paradigm shifts that appear as today's perspective shift. Now,
Mm,
before you break it down, so let's break down the vocabulary here in some manner. Because first of all, what is inner circle? What
mm,
what does paradigm shift and perspective shift differentiate? Maybe if you can break down those vocabulary before we can get into the depth of.
mm. Definitely, very good question. And even before that, we go take it to a higher level. What are the three focus areas? Will be what you do. What we are covering, what now. Next, we'll cover what you do, because that's all we have in our life now. What you can do next is what we have. There is nothing else we can do. We can't change the past. Future is not here yet. In present, what you can do. So that's why I chose the three focus areas as what, you, and do. So, in what we said, like we said, growing the inner collective ability of your inner circle to notice and identify tomorrow's paradigm shift that appear as today's perspective shifts. Like if you think about anything, what is inner circle? Inner circle is basically where there is a trusted relationship with the person without having to judge the person every now and then. It's like a trust in a subscription mode, not in a like trust until a next conversation. I'll not trust this person. Like you and I have never met, but so since the day I met you in when you were in Singapore, I trusted you, and I'm not doubting your every move because it's like a lifetime subscription you have. That's an inner circle for me,
Got it.
where you are not testing the person every single interaction, every single conversation, but trust them for the lifetime. Because some
Hmm.
days up and down, and then see in my life now, Ravi, what I have got is that when somebody is in my inner circle, they don't have to keep in touch with me all
Hmm.
the time because the relationship is sacred and sanctity. It has that level of sacredness as if I'm in a temple. So
Got it.
they can be absent for 3 years and then they come back and they still have the same privileges that they had earlier because it's for lifetime. It's like a brotherly relationship.
So is trust the only qualifier for the inner circle, or are there other qualifiers?
See, the thing is, the frequency has to match,
Hmm.
isn't it? See, they have to be have that potential, or they should already be on a path to do something great. Otherwise, they will be bored with me anyway. It's
Hmm.
like a self-select out and self-select in,
Right.
right? And they have to have some generous spirit, which is obviously it's like a table stakes. So, but it should be there.
You once mentioned that they should also somehow be part, or you should imagine them being part of the future you're creating for yourself, isn't it?
Oh, see, that one is there are two aspects to it. One is future I'm creating for them. So, see, if you take an alphabet, no, let's say there are 26 alphabets, and that's why it becomes you can create poetry and you can do anything. If you take music, there are 7 notes, so one note cannot be enough, isn't it? And then if you take rainbow, there are 7 colors. There are all sorts of people are required where the sum is greater than the whole,
Right.
the greater than the parts. You mean?
Right.
So that kind of collaboration, cooperation. Sometimes I have relationships, and I'm sure you have relationships for years and years. Nothing happens, and suddenly something blossoms, and then it
Hmm.
looks like magic,
Right.
isn't it? So,
Right.
do you have the patience to wait for long-term relationships to mature and grow? It's like growing your own garden,
Got it.
and you are a part of somebody else's garden on both sides.
Right.
And then one of the major characteristics for all of us is whether you have the ability to accept and notice and accept good help from other people.
Hmm.
Like whether the person, say, if you go, like Mahatria says, if you go to a sea with a spoon, you'll get a spoonful of water.
Right.
And if you go with a tumbler, you get a tumbler full of water. But the spoon person cannot complain, see, I only got a spoonful of water. But you took only a spoon, so you can't get a tumbler full of water. That kind of beginner's mind is important for all of us, both parties of the relationship.
Got it. Also,
Coming
for
to
the yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
the paradigm shift is something that anybody will notice post the paradigm shift, isn't it? When computers came, that was a paradigm shift. Some people noticed it, some people did not. Like fax machine was a paradigm shift. But imagine, like Seth Godin says, what did the first person with the fax machine do?
Hmm.
You can't do anything. But built in within the fax machine itself is the virality, because you will announce the fax machine. So if anybody wants to send me a fax, please send it to me. You put the fax number there. Now somebody else has to buy the fax machine to send him a fax. Like that, the paradigm shifts are happening. It's easy to notice something after the fact, but it's difficult to notice before the fact, because the paradigm shift looks like a perspective shift, change in the way people look at something in about life or work or relationships or anything. First, the change has to happen internally, then it'll happen in externally. Does it make sense?
Yes, that makes. And what's the difference between paradigm shift and perspective shifts?
Perspective shift is what is happening in your mind. Paradigm shift is what is happening in externally.
Okay.
First, somebody has to think like Chat GPT. Somebody has to imagine that Chat GPT, we can do something in our mind. But then somebody starts doing something,
Mm,
and it becomes a paradigm shift. Perspective shift expressed in reality world is a paradigm shift.
got
Not
it.
all of them are paradigm shifts, so some of them are.
Got it. So
And
let's
why
now
we
on.
need to grow the collective ability of our inner circle? Because it's called, my teacher used to say in the linguistic philosophy courses, there is a technique called, there is a skill called reading the world. How the world is moving, what the demographics and all of them. One person cannot do it anyway. It has to be the collective ability of the inner circle. There has to be many people who should read the world, so that all of us together grow. Otherwise, the world is changing. People, there's some fundamental problem that people say change is the only constant, but people don't realize the change is super fast now.
Mm,
Unlike when we are growing up now, change was that when we are trying to watch a cricket match, we
mm,
go from watching in no with drizzling in radio and going to TV was a change.
right.
Now we can watch in our cell phone, and we can do 25,000 things, 1600 screens.
Right.
So the speed at which things happen is unbelievable.
Yeah, especially because we are living in an age of super intelligence, and
Correct.
navigating through this phase and staying relevant is not something, because you did not say grow your ability to get that
Mm.
edge. You said grow the collective ability of your inner circle. Many people do not understand the value of that inner circle. They usually are trying to get better themselves, but if you have to achieve anything substantial and meaningful in life, if you want to climb those bigger summits, then it's always going to be a team effort of your inner circle, isn't it?
100%, Ravi, 100%. Because by the time they think, and also one person cannot notice the perspective shifts at all the perspective shifts that are happening. We
Hmm.
talked about Founder Institute. Why I so much enjoy teaching at the Founder Institute is because I taught about 2,000 entrepreneurs, but I have become a better person because I taught the 2,000 entrepreneurs. Because every time somebody comes to me with a story, a student comes there with a story of why this change is happening, why they are building a company, how
Hmm.
much time they would have spent months and months thinking about that idea. As a teacher, I ask them 10 questions, they will answer 10 questions because the teacher is asking.
Hmm.
And then I get to see the world in their eyes, through their eyes, their hard work. No, it's nothing.
Right.
It's like a privilege to teach there. In fact, if they don't pay me $0, I'll teach there because I'm learning as much as I'm teaching.
Got it. So how do you grow this collective ability? How do you identify tomorrow's paradigm shift?
Correct. See, it's first of all, tomorrow's paradigm shifts will be identified by the collective team effort, not just me.
Hmm.
Because you are working on a project, what will you tell me? If as long as I'm helping you, you will keep giving more information, so it's helpful for you, and my help is valuable for you, hopefully. And for
Hmm.
me, while I'm seeing the world in the, let's say, in prop tech area, I'm seeing the world through your eyes without
Hmm.
having to do the due diligence. What perspective shifts, what paradigm shifts are happening, how you are thinking differently, fractional real estate,
Right.
all those things. Why? I didn't do all the research. You did the research,
Hmm.
isn't it?
Right. Got it. Okay. So shall we move to the second one then?
Yes.
So the second one was
About you.
what and then you. What
Hmm.
you do, right? Okay.
Ah, See,
So,
what is about what exactly we are talking about? We are talking about growing the collective ability for inner circle
hmm,
to identify tomorrow's paradigm shift with that appear as today's perspective shift. What you means how you are evolving in life.
hmm.
Shall I read it or will you read it?
Yeah. It says knowing and growing yourself enough to pick the perspective shifts that are valuable and relevant now and in the near future that resonate and align with who you are.
Hmm.
So let's break it
In
down.
Sanskrit, there is a word called swadharma. That means that your true nature, inner nature. See, that's why I said it has to, whatever perspective shifts you pick has to align with you. For me, it's in the area of business models, innovation,
Hmm.
and marketing, and all those things. My
Correct.
my lanes are clear, so I will only focus on perspective shifts in those areas. How is the world of marketing changing? How is the world of storytelling changing? But
Hmm.
for you, it may be in technology. For example, which technology, blockchain, should we use blockchain? Or it
Hmm.
may be in conversations. How are conversations happening? Like how you came
Right.
up with the Nuggets of Gold series. I could not have
Right.
come up with it. But you are
Correct.
there in my inner circle too. I don't have to worry about it. Next time, if I want to come up with a series, say, Ravi, what should we call this series? Done.
Got it. So
Because,
everybody has some strengths,
hmm,
and that is what you should be aligned to. Okay.
exactly. It's like, think of it this way. Everybody has a superpower. They also
Right.
have kryptonites. Organization is my kryptonite for me. So,
Hmm.
but I have other people in my life, like Saundarya, for example.
Hmm.
Organization is a superpower for her.
Hmm.
I don't have to worry about it. I should have the mix of, that's why in alphabets also, there are 26 of them. Any one Z or T or P or Q is not sufficient by itself.
Right. Got it. So, by the way, how do you pick the perspective shifts? Is it by exposing yourself to the industry that you are in, or wherever you are trying to play, and learning as much and being curious about it?
Exactly. Very good question. Most people don't ask this question. See, basically, there are so many, we all have TV because we don't have TV, but we have only subscription to Netflix and all of them.
Hmm.
There is unlimited amount of viewing. What
Right.
do you like to watch? That shows your level of interest in. Do you like to watch documentary? Is it historical figure biographies, or is it about wars, history, or it's about future innovation? That already shows where your mind is going, the what you are leaning towards. So, but now you have to see how is it relevant to the world. If I watch about the comedy series, unless now it's relevant to me. But earlier, if I start watching comedy series and say, unless I want to become a comedian, it's not very relevant. It's entertainment. But
Hmm.
in terms of education, what do I gravitate towards? That alignment is there. When you have disposable time, where how will you invest your disposable time determines your level of interest on a particular topic.
Hmm. Got it. Okay. Cool. So
Then we go
then
to do.
then you go to do, and it reads to organize a tribe of committed and competent people who will adopt, adapt, and capitalize on these perspective shifts for the greater good via meaningful contribution.
Hmm. Correct. See, basically, the tribe of inner circle people will not happen automatically, isn't it?
Hmm.
You have to argue, you have to be, somebody has to be committed. And they did not be a leader. They want to show by example that this is the way to do it. And how will we do it? It's by genuinely caring for what the other person is doing, not fake caring, because the other person is smart. He will know that he or she will know that it's fake caring.
Hmm.
Genuinely know that this person cares, and then the trust starts building. And sometimes it takes years to build the trust. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's instant, sometimes it takes years, but you should have the patience.
True. Yeah.
And then why I said adopt, and capitalize on these perspective shifts is they are action takers. They're
Hmm.
not intellectual conversation like armchair intellectuals, because that will not help. Because you can build a tribe of armchair intellectuals, then you
Hmm.
can go into a debate competition and win. In
Hmm.
real life, the real work happens in action. When somebody takes action and say, I observed this fractional real estate, I'm going to do something about it. I
Hmm.
observed that nomadic culture, I'm going to do something about it. But not talk, 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 but actually walk the talk.
Right.
isn't it? And then for the greater good via meaningful contributions. For the
mm,
greater good means world should become a better place because they are taking action.
mm,
And the meaningful contribution is determined by the world,
mm,
not by themselves, because everybody can paint a picture about themselves. No, say I'm doing something good, and nobody can question it because otherwise they'll be, each person can claim, declare that they are
mm,
doing something good, but the world will know, notice, and appreciate real work if
mm,
if they are missed in the past on one end of the spectrum, or
mm,
if they feel that it made my day on
mm.
the other end of the spectrum. If it
Right.
is outside of this low and high spectrum, then they are not a meaningful contribution.
Mm.
Lowest level, they should say, "This made my day." Highest level, they say, "Oh my God, I missed this person in the past."
Right. Got it. So, Rajesh, when you came up with these three ideas, I'm sure this was drawn from your vast experience. Um, could you come up? Could you share what led you to distill this into these three ideas? Did you have an example where actually people accomplished, or people who are living lives in a way like this, where they have built a team, built a tribe, and achieved meaningful contributions?
I think any big contribution, any big accomplishment, like my role model, Deshpande, he built $3 billion companies, and then retired. Now he's building a sandbox in Hubli, but he's
Mm,
not doing this alone,
mm,
because there are people from his past that have worked for him. They are coming and helping in the sandbox. There is
mm,
another sandbox in Kakatiya near Hyderabad that is funded by another entrepreneur called Raju Reddy, because he believes in what Mr. Deshpande is doing.
right.
So it's always, if you want to get a global change, a big level, like life size kind of change, it has to be with the tribe of committed and competent people.
Mm. Excellent. Well, this brings us to the end of a very in-depth and valuable conversation. We called it Nuggets of Gold series, especially because of this reason. And let me know if you like this Nuggets of Wisdom. I will do more with other wise people, because you know what? This is also a contribution. If I had this conversation in person with Rajesh, it would have only stayed with me, so I would have been the beneficiary. But now, by sharing this with a wider audience, a lot of other people who resonate will also get the benefit of such ideas. So do come back for more sessions on Nuggets of Wisdom. And thank you so much, Rajesh, for always being there whenever we have asked your help and
Thank you
time
so
on.
much. Namaskaram to all. Thank you so much.
Bye
Bye.
bye.